Greetings, Judah. DFG here, Gideon's Flight. Hey guys, I want to take a moment and share something with you that Rahuk put inside of me today in regards to these two sons. And I guess a better way to say it is he put inside of me to give a message that we've heard many, many times. And some of us were taught this message, by those who are in religion, to mean that it was a self-centered message that was pretty much based on individual performance, individual progress, and individual redemption. But Yah gave me another story to tell in the same message. But in that message, he reminded me to bring forward to us, to you, that Yah is not a selfish Elohim. He's a possessive Elohim. All those that belong to him are his, and he makes no bones about it. But he's never selfish. He's never selfish within Israel. Maybe I'll even say that in a better way. He's a jealous Elohim. In other words, he doesn't want us interacting, outside of him. In other words, idolatry, sorcery, organized religion, etc. He wants us all focused on him. And he gave us a story to remind us of the power of redemption, the power of love, real love, and the consequences of wickedness. So I'm going to share this story with you, and this is going to be Luke chapter 15. You're going to find this story familiar because it is the story of the prodigal son. But this story goes beyond, again, individualism. It goes into nation building and the importance of it. And who is the nation? Who are the lost? Who are those that Yah sent out the messenger, Yahuwah, to redeem? And most importantly, will these people find redemption? Praise Yah. So I'm going to give you this story, this message, and may Yah open up your hearts, may Yah open up my voice, open up my mind, may the Rahuk bring forth this truth and clarity and root this to be understood so that you may grow, we may grow, and bear forth fruit in this particular truth. Praise Yah. So here we go. The Brochure of Luke, chapter 15, I'm going to start reading at verse 11. And he said, a certain man had two sons, and I would venture to tell you that these two sons again. One is Israel, the other is organized religion. I want you to keep that in your hearts as we bring forth this truth. And the younger of them said unto his father, Father, Elohim, give me the portion of the goods that fall to me. In other words, give me my inheritance. And he divided unto him his living. So the father gave him his portion of his inheritance. And not many days after, the younger son gathered all together and took his journey into a far country, and there wasted his substance or his inheritance on riotous living. My sisters and brothers, I venture to tell you, this is how we as a people ran away from our birthright. And because we ran away from our birthright, in other words, we ran away from Elohim, strangers came in, tares came in, and they overtook the field, the harvest of Elohim. And now you have a wicked nation of people reaping the benefits that Yah had preserved for his people. And then you have his people running and chasing after the very things that Yah said would falter or fall away or be destroyed with time. But let us continue. He said that he wasted his substance on riotous living. And when you look at that, my brothers and sisters, if we are made in the image and the likeness of Elohim, we have the likeness in him in terms of our ability to create, to procreate, to have dominion over the whole entire earth. And yet, if you look at us as a people, it's all wasted. We would much rather spend our time in riotous living. You know what riotous living is? It's living like those heathens live. Doing the things that the heathens do. You know, and what do you mean? I'm talking about everything from these wicked festivals to these wicked holidays, you know, to embracing the abominable things that Yah told us that we should never do. I'm talking about sleeping, you know, with the enemy. I'm talking about, you know, whoredom. I'm talking about abortion. I'm talking about, you know, promoting of homosexuality, transgender, and all these other wicked, riotous things that we sought to do. And by doing those things, as the book has just said, we squandered, we have lost all of our inheritance. Therefore, look at us now. The poorest and in many cases the most wretched people in this country. Yet we are children of the Most High. That is something that just should not be, but that is something that actually is. And if you're in denial of it, you're just self-deceived, my sisters and my brothers. And he goes on to say, and when he had spent everything, there came a famine in the land. Now see, this is a prophecy being fulfilled as well. Because see, now there is a famine in the land now. And I've mentioned this to you guys already. Inflation, food chain disruption, supply chain disruption. For some of you guys who don't understand that terminology, supply chain disruption is meaning that all of the forms of transportation that normally gets goods to the stores so that you can purchase and have food in your home for your families has been disrupted. It's been disrupted. It means that it's broken. What does that mean to you? That means your substance is going to start to dry up very, very soon. And that's why famine. You know what famine is? Another word for hunger. Severe hunger. Drought. In other words, your families are going to be in danger. Our family is going to be in danger because this parable is to us. This message is to us. He didn't tell us that the heathens will be impacted because Yah is judging them right now. But for us, we're going to feel this. Because remember, this story, this son is Judah, Israel. This story is you and I. And he says that because we decided to go after the things of this world and waste it and only care about the things of this world and how to enjoy it, the next party, the next celebration, the next, I don't know, barbecue, the next, you know, swine roast, filthy beast. The next crawfish ball, you name it. That's what we're looking for. Just gluttony, eating, drinking, whoring, lying and stealing and cheating. That's what riotous living is. Embracing cultures that go totally against the natural building like you build creation. You know, embracing lifestyles that are totally against creation. Embracing it. And in many cases, encouraging it. Encouraging it. And now we're reaping the consequences of it. And famine is here and it's at your door. But that's not the end of the story, my sisters and my brothers. It goes on. It's a continual here. Because not only is famine coming, disease is coming as well. And many of us have already been, you know, told and in many cases misled to why we are, you know, why it's important for us as a targeted group to embrace this new program that they're willing, that they want us to submit to, that's supposed to somehow protect us, keep us healthy, keep us safe. It really makes no sense to me. And I guess I'm going to have to, you know, give a little dialogue here. That makes no sense to me. Because we have been the sickest people in this country for a very long time. And through all of this time, no one ever gave a damn about getting us well. I want you to think about that. Think about your parents. Your parents' parents. Did they suffer from high blood pressure, diabetes, heart disease, liver disease, glaucoma, cancer? then where were these so-called good-natured, good Samaritans all of that time? Why weren't they focused then on coming up with methods and medicines to keep us healthy? Why now? Why now are we the center focus of the best health care that they can invent in their laboratories? Why now? Is it because they know something that we don't know? Maybe they know who we are. And maybe they know that in order to stop this prophecy that I'm going to continue to read to you from being fulfilled, that they have to get their hands even dirtier. As filthy as their hands are, they've got to now become diabolical. They're already abominable, detestable, but now they have to be diabolical. In other words, they have to do something to cut off the head. In other words, it's time for them to go for the ultimate kill. It's the killing season in their world. And we already know when they start looking, or when their blood gets boiling, and that hatred in their heart starts to take control, we know the focus of their murder comes right back to our doors. Just the truth. It's just who they are, what they do, who we are, and what we represent to them. And that is annihilation. Genetic annihilation. They know it. They know it. Therefore, they will do anything in their power to keep that from happening. And I'm going to digress for just a second here. I don't know if you guys remember 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago, there was a lot of conversation going on, maybe not 50 years ago, but at least 20, 25 years ago, about how that, so-called white people would be in the minority in America. And how that was going to be a problem for them. That all the other minorities there would be so many minorities in this country that they would actually become the minority in their own country. And how they had to learn diversity. Or else. And what is or else? They presented or else to us as though that if they didn't learn how to embrace it, that somehow or another they would be penalized for it. See, that's the way they presented it to us. Because remember, these people are the children of the fallen ones. They are the children of the liar, the children of the murderer. Okay? So they would always present, a false narrative to us. So that false narrative is that they had to learn how to work with others. They had to learn how to play with others. But in truth, that all else meant to them, you better come up with a way to get rid of them. You had better come up with very constructive ways to get rid of them. And now we see what those constructive, and they have to be, and when I say constructive, I should say very creative ways to get rid of them. And this is the message that resonated amongst them. The inner message. In some of those ways, you see them: homosexuality, pro-choice or abortion or killing of children, promoting marijuana, because it's going to make you sterile at some point if you use it on a regular basis. The promoting of transgenderism, the promotion of, what else? I want to say this word, but I got to say this word the right way. Well, I can get back to that. Not training up your children, not chastising your children, the promotion of mass imprisonment of our people, street strike rules. Remember that? All those things. The empowerment of law enforcement. Kill on the spot, but only us. All these programs. And then last but not least, this one. This one. Because see, what this one's going to do could very well, what this is going to do to your DNA or to your, what would you call that? I'm going to use DNA, your genetic structure. It could affect you down there too. Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised. We've heard all these stories of autism and different things happening to people. We know about all that stuff because of, that thing right there. And now there are other things that are coming out that people are saying that are happening to their bodies because of that thing right there. But again, we're stiff and hard-necked people. We're just like that sun. See, when it talks about the Son, it's not talking about a person now, my brothers and my sisters. It's talking about a nation. It's talking about our people and our act towards Elohim. When Elohim came to us in love and gave us empowerment to multiply, be fruitful, replenish the earth, have dominion over the earth, we took it for granted. We abused that authority. We fell in fellowship with the serpent people. And we lost it. And now children are now our predators, and women now seek to rule over the man. Feminism. That's the other one that I need to not leave out. Feminine. Sisters, do you know that feminine simply means that you're going to dominate the men, that they want you now in the position of men. So what does that mean for the man? That means that if you're successful as a feminist, your man has to take the secondary role as a child. Or emasculated and feminized, which puts him back in a childlike state mentally. He won't protect you. He won't provide for you. He damn sure will not love you. So that's your reward for feminism. So all of you sisters out there who want to be, you know, woman, thou art loose. Look at me roar. I don't need no man. This is going to be the consequences of that. You're already experiencing it now. How many of you women out there are by yourself? Yeah, there are niggas chasing you. I'm not going to say that not. Of course they're going to chase you. But why? Have you asked yourself that question? Are they chasing you because they see you as a builder? They see you as someone that, you know, if they were with you, that your love for Elohim would align with their love for Elohim, and therefore you could go out and make a difference with the people of Elohim? Or those little, you know, phone calls, text messages, tweets, Facebook posts, whatever, it's just to get between your legs and spread more bacteria. And if not careful, another child on this planet that will never see true love, never understand what true parenthood looks like. Are you asking yourself those questions, my dear sisters? Or are you just so enamored, you know, you're so special, you feel so good that your Instagram post got 1 million people liking you? Or can we say that the right way? Has 1 million people wanting to fuck you. Wow, what a superstar you must be. How glamorous you must feel. Now all the men are sitting off in their rooms, you know, masturbating, looking at you. Don't you feel so special now? They would love to just ravish you and rip your body apart. And when they finish with you, you would be good for nothing. You would be like salt that has no flavor to it, no taste. You know what Yah said about salt that lost its savor or its flavor? Savor and flavor, same thing. He said you will be good for nothing. Otherwise, he said when they finish with you, you are going to be ready for the shit house, the toilet, the sewer. Because that's how they see you. So for all of you who are out there shaking your asses and profiling and twisting and using your glamour shots and all of this shit, just so you know, that's what you're promoting for yourself and for your daughters and for your granddaughters and for generations to come. If Yah were to spare, which I know he is not. And for you men, same thing, because guess what? It's your daughters. It's your seed. And now you're treating your seed like whores and tramps. And because you're not there, because you did not train them up, you did not, you know, take responsibility for the decisions that you made, now you got a bunch of harlots. Aren't you so proud of yourselves, my brother? How did that make you feel? All these whores you want to fuck, and I'm going to talk straight here. All these whores you want to screw are daughters of Zion. Many of them are daughters of Zion. And now you have trained them to be nice little whores, nice little sluts. Oh, and by the way, you trained your sons to be nice little whoremonger, irresponsible, effeminate, emasculated, grown men who won't even pull their pants up. Now I'll say that again. Grown men who won't even pull their pants up now. They're so lazy, they'd rather walk around with their entire ass exposed. And your daughters walk right next to them with their head held up high because it's like mama carrying around her little son. He won't put his pants on. I don't know why he won't tie his shoes. But he's so cute. That's what it's boiled down to. Total anarchy. Everything is backwards. Why? Because of rebellion in the land. Because we wanted to go out there and embrace riotous living. We wanted to go out there and do what the heathens did. And now look at the conditions that we're faced with. Horrific conditions. And it's going to get progressively worse. When I talked about that supply chain disruption, inflation is going to go along with that. And then with that going to come, again, diseases that you could never imagine. And your bodies, many of your bodies are going to break down. And you're going to suffer. And then you're going to die. A miserable death. Unless you come to your senses. And I mean that, unless you come to your senses. But let's read on. He said there was a famine in the land. Praise Yah. There was a famine in the land. And he began to want. In other words, our people now, because of a lack of resources, now we're wanting. Now we're going to the government and we're asking the government to bail us out. You know, we don't typically ask the kind of way that you might say it. We ask them for stimulus money. When the next stimulus check is going to come? Are you going to continue unemployment? Are you going to continue to subsidize our rent? See, that's want. See, the book is true. The book is true. Man might be liars, but the book is true. The book is true. So now we're in want. And now we're looking at the government and man now to supply our needs, our basic necessities, things that we once had full dominion over. Now those things have dominion over us, including the wicked of this world. This is what rebellion has brought. This is what rebellion brought to us as a people, as the parable is stating to us. But that's not all of it. It goes on to say there was famine in the land. He began to be in want. And he joined himself up to the citizens of that country. In other words, he became like the heathens. He became like the Gentiles. And I think we all can agree with that. We out-Gentile the Gentiles now. Whatever debauchery the Gentiles do, they use us to promote it. Whatever debauchery it is. Remember when Gillette razors were pushing this transgender foolishness? You remember how Gillette, they took and they had this female and had her dad showing her how to shave? Remember that? Now the Edomites got pissed off about it and they shut that shit down. Because they're like, wait. Gillette, if you want us to continue to buy your razors, you're going to get that shit off of television. But when they were promoting that, do you remember that commercial that they promoted? You remember who they used to promote that? You know who the lesbian girl was? She was a Judah girl. She was an Israelite girl. In other words, she was a so-called Negro. And it was her father who was teaching a girl how to shave as a man. We've become so much like them that now they use us to propagate their lies, their whoredoms, their debauchery, their wickedness, their abominable acts. They put dresses on our men now. They make our women to be whores on national television programs, telling them to sell their pussies because it's nice and it's wet and use it like an ATM machine. And our mother said nothing. At least many of our mothers said not a single thing. There was no outcry. But I remember back in the day when Tupac Shakur was, you know, when, what her name was, Maxine, I think it was Maxine Waters or one of them, got all pissed off, no, Barbara somebody. But one of these so-called activists, congresswomen, got all hot and bothered because Tupac was calling women bitches. Wasn't right, but that's what he was calling them. There was a national outrage. But behind this one, they said nothing. Look how far we have fallen. Look how far we have fallen in less than 20 years, 25 years. Look how far we have fallen. It went from being outraged because he was calling women bitches to now embracing whores and whoredom and lesbianism. I mean, matter of fact, they gave them a round of applause for their performance. That's where it is now. That's how wicked we have become. And it's the Gentiles who are using us now as the face of all of this debauchery. That's what it meant. That's what it meant when it said he journeyed up to the citizen of that country. what? That country with all the riotous living, all the debauchery, a modern day Sodom and Gomorrah, as America, the West, and most of the world is becoming. See, our people joined up with them. But I'm going to tell you something. It works for them, my brothers and sisters. It works for them. But it don't work for us. That's why our children are the ones dying and getting murdered in the street. That's why HIV and AIDS are rampant in our communities. That's why sickness and all these diseases are ravaging us in our communities. That's why they have made us the target, you know, of their inoculation program. Because after all, we're the sickest people according to them. Yet when you look at us, you know, by far we're the largest, biggest, obviously in their world most creative, because they damn sure spend billions of dollars, trillions of dollars watching us perform almost in any damn thing that we're doing. And they spend a lot of money locking us up, and they make a lot of money by locking us up. For people to be so damn sickly, that's a whole lot of investment and a whole lot of embracing on the Edomite side of it. But we are paying a price. We're paying a heavy price for joining up with that country, as this boy did. Or this nation has. Our nation. But let's continue on. Doesn't stop there. It says he went and joined himself to the citizen of that country. And he sent him, and the citizen sent him in the fields to feed swine. To feed pigs. So this thing with pigs come up over and over and over again. In other words, they knew this was a Judah man. They knew this man was of Israel. And they know the lowest thing that this man should be doing is out there feeding pigs. Because they know, according to his laws, statutes, commandments, he's not even supposed to touch that thing, let alone be out there working with it or eating it. But see, they know your history better than you know. Why do you think that is typically the cheapest food you can get is pig food? Why do you think that is? Because they want us consuming that garbage. But this is also a metaphor of filth. When they say that they want us living as filthy animals. In other words, embracing every kind of debauchery, every kind of abominable thing, every kind of wicked thing you can imagine, they want us doing it. Again, our daughters think being a whore is something glamorous. And our mothers are worse than the daughters because they promote the whoredom. And if you don't believe me, go to social media and see what you see on those damn things. You see women in their late 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s out there glamorizing themselves. And if you see them with their daughters, they're teaching their daughters to be whores just like them. But they will never admit that. But think like a hoe, but don't be a hoe. How's that going to work? How's that working for you, mothers? So I don't want you to be a whore, but I want you to think like a whore. Only to find out that not only is she a whore, she's screwing every goddamn man that waves a dollar or flexes a muscle in front of her damn face. No discipline. And she thinks it's cute. She thinks it's glamorous. She thinks that it makes her valuable. Let me tell you something, sister. Praise Yah. A man looks at a whore probably like you look at a dirty tampon, sanitary napkin. You know, when you're on your cycle and you're bleedy, you're bloody, you know that odor, that smell that you're dealing with, you detest it. You follow me? You're feeling violated, your body is hurting, your mind is hurting, everything is hurting. You know how you feel about that time of a month? I just want you to know that's how men look at whores. That's the way they look at it. That's the way we look at whores. That you're disposable, just like a sanitary napkin. You're there to catch our waste. Just like that sanitary napkin is there to catch your waste. We look at whores as women that are there strictly to catch our waste. We're not trying to build with you. We're not trying to grow families with you. We just want to ejaculate in you and on you, and then dust you off and send you on about your way. Or better yet, wipe ourselves off and send you on about your way. That's how we look at you as a whore. Just so if you think because men want you and men are following you or men are after you, we just want you to know We understand why men are following you, men want you, and men are after you. And we understand why the enemy of man has put you and put in your mind that it's okay to entice us so that we can shit on you, literally and figuratively. In other words, we can expose our waste on you. Literally. You still feel glamorous now, glamour girl? And some of you, yeah, this is not going to mean anything to you. But maybe one or two of you might wake up and change your behavior and come into your right mind and realize, wait a minute, I've deceived myself. I allowed my self-esteem to get so low that I use a wicked invention like social media to propagate whoredom, and I didn't even understand what I was doing. I thought it made me desirable when I got a lot of likes. No, it just made you the biggest of all the whores. Like, remember when the Nation of Islam went against Malcolm X? They said he's the biggest of all the hypocrites, is what they said. They lied. But they said he's the biggest of all the hypocrites. What social media does for you and all those likes just makes you the biggest of the whores. The more popular of all the whores. Because see, you got your whores on the street. You know, they don't really promote themselves on social media like talking about it. They just walk the avenues and hopefully they'll get a John or a Trick to stop and give him $20, $100, and so he can do his filth on them. But you become the glamorous of all the whores because you've got hundreds and sometimes thousands, sometimes 1 million of them wanting or using you to go to the bathroom on. And you think it's cute because you're ignorant. You're suffering with a form of retardation, retarded, lunacy. You have lost your natural mind to determine what is good versus what is evil. You have lost it, sister. You have lost it. And as your brother, I pray. I am praying for us. I have a daughter. I have a daughter. And the worst judgment that Yah could place on me is that she becomes one of you. The ones I just described. I seek, and I trust Elohim, it will never happen. And he gave her a father like me, who's going to do everything in his power not to happen. Before I let it happen, I'll ask Yah to take her off this earth. How about that? Praise Yah. But let's go on. So he was out there feeding pigs, the very thing that he should be staying away from. Like many of you guys and ladies, now you're out there acting like a pig, a filthy animal, the swine. Our people, that's who it's talking about here. Our people in this country are acting like pigs. And it's interesting, who was raising the pigs? Who owned these pigs? The people in the country. The people of the country. You see what's going on? They weren't going to go out there with the pigs, but they're going to have you going out there acting like a pig. Isn't that interesting? They won't put their daughters out there doing wet-ass pussy videos. Their sons out there, talking about fucking Satan. But they'll put yours out there. They'll gladly encourage you to do it. So in other words, they want you out there with the swine, with the pigs. They created it just for you. And then they're going to sell you that filthy beast, and you're going to buy it, and you're going to eat it, and you're going to teach it to your children. Dig it. Or can you dig it? Praise Yah. And he would have fainted had he not, or he would have died. And he would have died if he had not filled his belly with the husk that the swine did eat. Because no man gave him anything. You see, as this crisis continues to escalate against us, no one is coming to your rescue. I've told you time and time again about being prepared. I've said it to you. Many of you guys think that somehow or another this government's going to keep on coming and rescuing you. It is not. It's a setup, guys. It's a trap. Stimulus is a trap. Unemployment is a trap. No police is a trap. The so-called solution to corona is a trap. All these things are traps. And you're going to be the prey that's taking that. Many of you are already taking the bait. And you know what happens with things that take the bait? They end up getting eaten. In other words, they end up becoming destroyed. They end up becoming into someone's belly, going out of their ass. They become shit. Ultimately, dung, as the book says. Praise Yah. So nobody tried to help him. Like nobody gives a damn about what happens to us. And they shouldn't. That is our responsibility as a nation. It's not the heathen's responsibility to care about what happens to our children. If the heathen decide not to train their children up, not to chastise their children, not to correct their children, then you should have said, hey, that's what y'all do. But that's not what we're going to do. In this house, we're going to have discipline. We're going to have order. We're going to live and teach the Torah. We're going to learn and study the book. We're going to continue to serve Yah. We're not going to walk away from the Father. We're not going to confuse religion with truth. Religion, the lie. Truth is Elohim, the book, the word, the walk, the Torah. We're not going to confuse the two. Y'all can take your religion because we don't need religion. We need Elohim. But that's not what we decided. We decided to go the way of the heathen. And now the heathen now is showing his true colors. We're getting murdered in the street. Our daughters are getting murdered in the street. Our sons are getting murdered in the street. And they're just standing back, just giggling, laughing in the dark. Or they give some nice little speech, pay some people off, for it to go away. But they don't change. And they're not going to change. They're not going to change. They're only going to get worse. Wait and see. I told you about the dry run on the Capitol Hill a couple of months back. When you guys blew it off. You got idiots all over the world, want to tell you, oh, you Americans are just a bunch of dumb, end time say. Look, don't listen to them dumbasses. You ask them a simple question. Since they want to accuse us of being programmed by the book, well, who programmed them? Tell me what you know, wise man. Where'd you get your knowledge from, wise man? Where did you study at, wise? What university you went to? What high school? Where you went to get your knowledge? Oh, the same liars that you accuse us of following? What makes your knowledge superior to our knowledge when you got yours from man and we say we got ours from Elohim? And there's a book to back up what we say. All you have is your own self-righteous justification to back up your lies and bullshit. So you can take that, you can take your philosophy of men and you can shove it right up your pink, yellow, brown, black ass. That's how we feel about you. That sound like somebody that's brainwashed? Do I sound like somebody seduced by religion? I just told you to take your vain philosophy and stick it up your brown, yellow, black, red ass. Is that religious enough for you? And I can tell you more, but I won't do it on this channel. And the last thing I'll say about you cowards, why aren't you showing your faces? You can see my face. Why are you using emojis and avatars? When you make your little dirty, rotten comments, are you afraid because we're going to see you? And maybe we'll confront you to see if you really are going to stand behind your words? Or are you just going to hide behind your little, your little computer and type in your bullshit, your lies, because you're a coward? Yeah, you're a coward. Show your face, devil. Let the world see who you are and what you got to say. You are the hypocrite. Or the biggest hypocrite. We walk behind what we believe. You hide behind what you believe. Literally. But back on message. The book goes on to say, and when he came to himself, in other words, he had a moment of clarity. It says, when he came to his right mind, he said, how many hired servants of my fathers have enough bread to eat and even some extra? But I'm sitting out here starving. He said, look how these imposters have stolen our birthright and they're prospering from it. But look at, we get nothing out of it. We have gotten nothing out of it. He said, even the servants, again, the imposters are benefiting and have extra. But we, the true children, have nothing. Why? Because we chased it after the heathen. when the whole time the heathen was really lusting after us. We are chasing after them as they lust after us. Why do you think they like to see your face? They like to see your big ass, sisters. Why? Why do you think that is? Oh, I know, because you think they love you. Because you're so fine and glamorous, right? You better go back and study some history, sisters. Maybe you forgot about the slave quarters and what were happening in those quarters. Maybe you have forgotten. And who was the people who were coming in there unwelcomed and ravaging you. And in many cases, killing your little mulatto babies when they came out. At least their mistress or their white women would kill that little yellow nigger baby that you had. Break it, bust his skull up against the wall. Stump it to death. Because she knew that this wicked bastard that she was living with, this devil, was out there raping and producing nigger babies. And she wasn't going to have it. She couldn't control him, but she could kill his offspring. Still feeling glamorous, lady? Still not ready to cover up, right? Still not adorn yourself in modest apparel, right? You're still not ready for it, right, sisters? You're still going to continue in the ways of the world. You're just going to let it happen, right? You're just going to just pull back the floodgates, and you're just going to let, you know, this flood come on in. You're going to let your Katrina, what's the word? Katrina event happen. You know, a lot of people died. A lot of destruction happened with Katrina. So you're going to have your Katrina moment. You're not going to do anything. You're warned. As the people in New Orleans were warned that a catastrophic flooding could happen and many would die and probably would off, but they did nothing about it. They blew it off. So that's what you're going to do. So you're going to blow this message off, and then one of these days you're going to have your Katrina event, and then you're going to be in regret. You're going to be displaced, destroyed, wiped out. Because that's what they have planned for you. Those of you who embraces, you know, the Edomites and the rest of them. They see you as a pig or worthy as a filthy animal, beast. They say you need to be in a pig's pen. You are a swine. You are filth. And you look at them with honor. Because, and you say, no, I don't. Yes, you do. If you listen to, if you're following the directions that they're giving you, and they're telling you what you need to do to be healthy, what you need to do to live a well life, what you need to do to be prosperous, where you need to go to get an education. If you're doing any of those things, you are looking at them with honor. Any of those things. Running into their stores, buying up their shit, their clothing, their revealing styles and things that they're making overseas and everywhere else, and embracing it, embracing their culture. Then you're honoring them. You're sure not honoring Yah. So you can't have two masters. See, your house is not divided. His house is not divided. He said, whose methods you apply is whose servant you are. So if you're running out and doing all those things that they're pushing in our communities and embracing all these things that they tell you that looks glamorous, it looks good on you, make you look better, because you can't stand your ugly black ass, so you need to fix your hair with their hair and color your eyes with their eye color and reveal your body so that they can tell you that your body really looks fantastic, because after all, they want you to act and treat yourself like a harlot. Kill your babies. Sodomize your boys. Encourage your boys to be sodomites. Your girls to be lesbians. Teaching your sons and your daughters to dress gender, what they call that, neutral clothing. Don't you know that all these things are the things they're pushing? You don't honor them, but yet you do everything that they tell you to do. You don't honor them, but you obey them. And the book says whose servants you are, that's who you're going to listen to. Are you listening to the book? I bet most of you haven't picked this book up in weeks, months, maybe some of you haven't picked it up in years. But you say you love Elohim. Because religion has taught you that. Religion has deceived you into believing that you're Elohim, but you're not. Because he said, my sheep hear my voice, and a strange voice they are not going to follow. He said, a stranger they are not going to follow. In other words, if you're following them, then you're not his sheep. He said, my sheep is not going to follow the stranger. He's not going to embrace the things of this world. He's not going to embrace the countrymen. Are you, my sister? Oh, and by the way, this message is for you, brother. I know some of you sitting back saying, yeah, DFG is going in on the sisters. No, I'm not. I'm going in on the people. Because we're in rebellion and we're going to die out here if we don't figure this out fast. Well, let's continue. He said, I'm going to arise and I'm going to go to my father and say unto him, Father, I have sinned. See, when you go out and living like the world, you are sinning. No, I'm not. Yes, you are. No, I'm not. Yes, you are. When you go out there and embrace the styles of this world, the culture of this world, in other words, the culture that this world approves of, whatever that is, the culture that this world approves of, you are sinning against Elohim. So if you're embracing pro-choice, feminism, homosexuality, not raising your kids, not loving Elohim with all your heart, your mind, your strength, not submitting to your men, not building your families, whoring, lying, stealing, cheating, conniving, not raising your children, not teaching your daughters, you are in sin, sister. Believe that, brother. You're in sin. And he says, I have sinned against heaven and before you. At least this brother was willing. Are you willing now, my sister and brother, after this much of a truth? Are you willing now to admit that you are sinning against Elohim? Many of you are not. Think about that. There's nothing that I've said to you that you cannot visualize. Nothing I've said to you that probably does not apply to many of you. Yet you still can't repent. Because that's what he's doing here. He's saying, I am wrong. I was wrong. I have sinned before heaven. That means the whole heavenly host. And before you, Elohim. See, Yah sees everything that you're doing, my brothers and sisters. You can't hide from Yah. He knows the intent of your heart. You can say whatever you want to say with your words. Yah looking at the inner man. He knows what you're thinking. He knows what your motivation is or isn't. Yes, you do love the things of this world. Many of you. And no matter how much truth, you're never going to be like this man. Some of you. But thank Yah for this book. Because guess what else happens in this book? There is a restoring of some. So it's all not lost, my sisters and my brothers. All isn't lost. For the vast majority of us, yes, it's lost. It's over with. Cooked. Done. Like I said, that goose is cooked. But for a few of us, and that's who this message is. The message is for all of us, but this message is to remind a few of us that there's still a redemption, there's still a redeeming power left for you. But you got to do something first. First of all, you've got to come back to your right mind. You got to know who you are. You are Israel. You are Judah. You're not some heathen out here. You're not some spiritual Jew. You damn sure ain't the Gentile. So you got to come into that. And religion has stopped many of you from doing it. Religion has told you can do whatever you want to do. You know, Yah knows your heart. He does. He knows it's wicked. That you know, as long as you don't fellowship the forsaken of the brethren, you know what I'm saying? In other words, go to their churches so you can continually be pushed into all kind of Baal worship and homosexuality and lesbianism and all of that shit. Whoredom. See, that's what they're pushing to you. Just go there, feel good on Sunday. The day of the worship of this Baal. Go there and Baal worship. You'll feel better at the end of the day. Go embrace their traditions and their customs. You'll feel better about it. Well, you won't feel better about it, but Yah will understand. He'll say, see, he saw you there. No, he didn't. No, he did not. He saw you go in there, but Yah ain't in there. Well, I brought him in. No, you didn't. Yah do not go into unclean temples made with the hands of men. He came to himself and said, how many hired servants my father have bread enough and enough bread and extra? He said, and I'm sitting over here dying. He said, I will arise and I will go to my father, and I will say unto him, Father, I have sinned against heaven and before you. I am no more worthy to be called your son. So make me one of the hired servants. If nothing else, y'all, let me at least try to, embrace your grace. Let me at least make an effort. At least let me shun this filthy lifestyle. I may not be all I can be, but I damn sure don't have to be this shit. That's what he's saying. At least let me be like a servant to you. If I can't be a son, at least let me be a servant. See, that's an act of attrition, sisters and brothers. That's a genuine act of attrition. You did a change. You started making a change. Will you? And he arose and he came to his father. But when he was yet a great way away, his father saw him and had compassion. See, Yah is looking. He's just waiting for us to make a move back to him. That's all he's doing. And many of us already have made that move back to Elohim. And he was waiting for us. Praise Yah. He was waiting for us. Many of you, he's waiting for you. But you ever notice, he did not come in the pig's pen to get you there. He did not come. He's not coming into these filthy churches, into your festivals, your Rogers living, your bars, your clubs, your whorehouses. He's not coming in there. And some of your houses are whorehouses, I might add. Your home is a whorehouse. Just so you know. Because we start saying, no, some of your whorehouses, your house, your bed is a whorehouse. For some of you. It says, he arose and he came to his father. But when he was yet a great way off, his father saw him and had compassion and ran and fell on his neck. See, Yah said, you come to me, I'm going to come to you. But I'll be damned if I'm going to come and get you out that filth. You better get your own ass out that filth. Sisters, brothers, you had better turn off these social media programs and platforms that are pushing debauchery, pushing this wicked ass music, pushing out this wicked ass lifestyles. And you had better turn yourself to true channels who are talking solely about Elohim and the redemption of your soul before it's too late and you burn in hell. You and all those little pretty babies you like to brag about. You had better turn that foolishness off, and you had better get in your right mind and come back. He said, if you do it, I'll meet you halfway. But if you don't, I'm going to leave your ass in there to die. Just like those nasty. He said, you want to be a nasty, filthy pig? I'm going to let you die like a nasty, filthy pig. He ain't coming to get you out of that mess. That's religion lying to you. Yah is not coming to get you out of your shit. You got to get your own self out the shit. You got to make your mind up, I'm not going to live like this anymore. And then Yah say, okay, now your mind is made up, and I see you trying, I see you coming, I mean literally coming, not thinking about it. Your behavior has changed. Yah say, then once your behavior has changed, I will see that change, and I will meet you there, and I will bring you back. But you got to change your behavior first. Many of you talking about it instead of being about it. Shut your filthy mouth if you ain't going to do it. All you're doing now is causing confusion for everybody. You're already on some of these platforms. I love Jesus and I love God. And God, you don't love no hatred people. And how can blessings and hatred? Shut your filthy mouth up. Shut up, you filthy beast. Shut up. You're not living anything. You're causing confusion. Because when people would come out, they won't come out because you're lying to them, telling them they don't have to come out. That somehow Yah is going to come into that pig's pen and get them out. That's a lie. That's the doctrines of devils. Y'all is not coming in no pig's pen to get nobody out of there. Just like this father did not go to no pig pen and get that son out of there. That son got himself out of there. And he got himself out of there because he knew the way he was living was filthy. He knew better. He was brought up better. But he got selfish and consumed with the cares of this world and issues of this life. And he walked away from his blessings and lost everything, including his own identity. Now he thinks he's a heathen, a Canaanite, a Hamite, an African. Totally lost. A Christian. But he had to come into his right mind. And when he came into his right mind, he started doing something. You're not in your right mind if you're not doing anything. If you're just talking about it and you're doing nothing, you are still self-deceiving. You're self-medicating. And you're not qualified to give yourself medicine. So therefore, you're going to get farther and farther into your addiction. In other words, you're going to fall farther and farther away from your healing. Ultimately, you're going to die in your sins. But for those of you, like this example, those of us, like this example, who realized the way we were living was only going to end for an early death for us, that we were just prostituting ourselves out there in this world, looking for love in all the wrong places, thinking because somebody said something nice to us, or told us we were handsome or good looking or fine or sexy, that somehow or another that meant that we were something special, when they were really trying to tell us we were nothing but something that they would like to just shit and piss on. In other words, again, to do their business on, you know, piss, shit, ejaculate on, or in, whatever way you want to say it. See, we confused that message to be something that was, you know, a form of endearment, when it really is an insult to your very personhood. Sisters, when these men are lusting at you and coming and falling after you and running after you, that is an insult. That is not a compliment. I'm sorry to tell you. Somebody should have told you that a long ago. When a bunch of these old heathen-ass men, you know, want to run after you, they see you as trash. When a dog sees trash, it runs to it. I'm going to say that to you again, sisters. When a dog sees trash or garbage, it runs to it looking for something to eat. Especially a hungry dog. An undomesticated dog. And many of these men out here are nothing but a bunch of undomesticated dogs because they don't live nor love Elohim. They're a bunch of undomesticated dogs. And they're running to you because they see you as garbage or trash, and they're looking to get something from you. They're looking to feed their lust, their appetite, their sexual appetite, I might add, their lustful appetite. And you over there feeling somehow or another special behind that. And men, same thing applies to you. And when you come down to this homosexual shit, you should know that is just about as filthy as it can be on both sides, lesbianism and homosexuality. That is just you should be ashamed of yourselves. Any of you embracing that, you should be ashamed of yourselves. You know that. How could you not see that as debauchery? Oh, and they don't talk about AIDS and HIV anymore. I wonder why. They're pushing this lifestyle, but they ain't telling about the consequences of it anymore. I wonder why. Is there a plot going on to kill the seed of Israel, to kill the seed of Judah? Is that a part of it? I'm sure it is. But you're not thinking clear. Because you're still thinking about what they say, because you still love them. They're your masters, not Elohim. They're your gods, not Elohim. Can't be. Again, he says, my sheep hear my voice. They won't follow strangers. You're following the world. Look at yourself. Step back and look at yourself. Look yourself from head to toe. Tell me what you see. Do you see something that's made in the image and the likeness of Elohim that you can find in this book written beautiful stories and poetries and poems about? Or do you see something that Elohim says that the demons came out of the earth and taught men how to do this? Which one you see? Because he's not in both of them. He said you either got to love one and hate the other, or despise one and love the other. But you can't love them both. Again, Elohim's house is not divided. You can't have it both ways. You can't love this world and then say you love Yah. He said you're a liar and the truth is not in you. You are self-deceiving. You are a reprobate. In other words, you have lost your natural ability to think critically. And now you're confused good with evil and evil with good. That's what he said. You're confused and confounded. And if you're not careful, you're going to die. And you're going to go straight to hell. And then you're going to be judged eternally. And you're going to burn for eternity. You and all your other, lost and confused friends and relatives. And you're all going to be there regretting the day that you made those piss poor decisions. Those days that when you heard this truth and you rejected this truth. Because you loved a lie. You had no discipline. You heard it. You thought it sounded great. You even said, I want it. Unlike this son, you did nothing about it. You just talked about it. This man acted upon his revelation of truth. He saw himself for who he was and what he had become, and he dealt with it honestly. Many of you see yourselves who you or what you are. You know your history. You know you step around with more men than you would care for any other man to know. And you're the same goddamn way. You know it. But you still refuse to acknowledge that to your own self. And how I know that? Because you still haven't changed your ways. Oh, no, I don't do that no more. Yeah, today. I wonder what will happen 6 months from today. I wonder if any problem, trials, issues come up, will you resort right back to your natural way? Because if you don't change on the inside, you can believe you ain't going to change on the outside. And the only change from the inside is the change that the Rahuk will change you on the inside. And when it changes you on the inside, you automatically start doing things different on the outside. When this man came to his mind, in other words, he changed on the inside. And then he started moving and started physically doing things on the outside. And that's why Elohim met him. See, Elohim will meet us as a nation if we change on the inside. He said, my people who are called by my name, if they will humble themselves and pray and seek my face, he said, then I would heal their land. Then they would hear from heaven. And I will be there for them. See, you got to do something. You just can't talk about it. Yah knows my heart. Unfortunately, he does and you don't. But this story is our story. This is our story, Judah, Israel. This is our story. Hear me well. It says when he came to himself, and this is important again, my sisters and my brothers. Coming to yourself means you have a moment of reckoning with yourself. You see yourself for what you really, really have been. You see yourself. And you see it for all of its ugliness. And you come to grips with it. And then when you come to grips with it, you start coming towards the Father. In other words, you start studying, you start learning, you start listening, you start changing, really changing. And it does show up on the outside, I might add. People talking about, y'all don't care about what you like. You're a damn lie. Yes, he does. There are all kind of laws talking about how we're supposed to dress. What are you talking about? How we're supposed to carry ourselves. We're not supposed to even give forth the appearance of evil. The adornment of evil. He said, we're not supposed to even look like them. Yes, he does care about what you look like. What are you talking about? That's a lie you're believing. There's nothing in this book where y'all say, come as you are. That's some shit religion made up. A scripture they took out of context. Where are the precepts? Y'all never told the people of Elohim, oh, you can come to me any kind of damn way and I'll accept you. That's a damn lie. This story I'm telling you right now is verification that that's a lie. This man had to come out of the pig's pen. He had to change. And until he changed, he could not see his father. And his father was not there with him in that filth. And by the way, his father didn't tell him to change. Father probably told him, don't leave a long time ago. But his father didn't come to him in a pig's pen and say, oh, now can you hear my voice? Now it's time to change because you hear me. That's a lie. They say he came to himself. He did it. She did it. She did it of her own accord because she saw herself for as she really is, not for as she thinks she is. or who she wants people to believe that she is, or who he wants people to believe that he is. He saw himself, she saw herself as she was. And that's the problem with Judah and Israel. That's the problem with us as a people. We refuse to see ourselves as we are. Yet the world sees us as we are. That's why they don't want to have nothing to do with us outside of encourage us to fall farther and farther into wickedness and debauchery and abominations. But they damn sure don't want to marry up with us and be with us, anything like that. Not that we should be. God, by the way, let me be clear. That is not what God has guided us to do. But even they won't touch us. Don't have nothing to do with us. Because they see us and we can't even see ourselves. They see our men out here shooting each other down the street behind petty foolishness or argument or misunderstanding. They see our women out here killing and shooting and wanting to stab themselves because they can't figure out who's going to clean up the room. Hating each other because, you know, one has something the other one doesn't have. Hating themselves because one has access and the other one does not have access. One got a new weave and the other one didn't. They see how silly we are. Embracing all of their wickedness and they don't embrace any of ours. They just sell to us like a bunch of damn, you know, whatever. Shit. You fill in that blank. Praise Yah. Will you change? Look, it's paramount. You're not going to meet the Father if you don't change, sister. It doesn't matter what you say. If you haven't changed first, you will not meet the Father. Or you'll meet, as the book says, Satan, who transformed himself as an angel of light. You'll meet something that looks like it's religious. Or you'll meet your pastor or your preacher or your so-called, you know, man of God. Or you'll meet him. But you'll find out real fast that he's the same devil that you are. Real fast. He'll have no standards, no expectation whatsoever. Matter of fact, he'll encourage you to follow the ways of the heathen. How about that? Lust after the things the heathens lust after. Money, clothes, style, reputation, glamour, fame, self-importance. He'll encourage you to do it because he's an agent of Satan. Because a true man of Elohim would never, ever be a part of religion. He would already, the Rahuk would have already revealed that to him. Just like something revealed to this boy in that pig's pen, it would have revealed to him way back then that he was in a pig's pen. So if he's still in there, that means he has no revelation. That means all he's going to do is encourage you to continue to act like a pig. Because after all, that's what he is. That's all you're going to get from him. What they say, you lay down with dogs, you come up with fleas. Some of you just going to get a new dog with the same old fleas. Verse 20, and he arose and he came to his father. But when he was a ways yet, when he was yet a great way off, his father saw him and had compassion, and ran and fell on his neck and kissed him. And the son said unto his father, Father, I have sinned against heaven and in your sight. I know you saw me. In your sight. And I am no more worthy to be called your son. Humble. Repentance. But the father said to his servants, Bring forth the best robe and put it on him. And put a ring on his finger and shoes on his feet. See, that's where we are right now. We are naked without Elohim, my brothers and sisters. Look at this boy's condition, this man's condition. Look at the condition of our people. Naked, without clothing, barefooted. Beggars. Traitors. Lovers of evil and lovers of pleasure more than lovers of Elohim. Look at us. The pride and joy of the Creator. And look at how we have become. The filth. We're sleeping with the filth of this earth. We're walking as the filth of this earth. And many of us have no desire whatsoever to change. You smell like shit. You look like shit. You eat shit. And yet you have the audacity to walk around talking about how special you are. What kind of self-deception is that, sister? Brother, you should be ashamed. We as a nation ought to be ashamed that we have allowed this to happen to our children, to ourselves. We need to follow the same, because the story goes on. I won't read anymore to you. You can read it for yourself. But the story goes on that he restored us. Y'all go take you back. See, it's not over for all of us. See, some of us, some of you, you still have a chance. But I just read to you what you're going to have to do. I've just explained to you what you have to do, at least Rahuk in me. He's just giving you, Yah has given you the blueprint of what it's going to take to get back in right standings with him. The question is, how bad do you want it, sister? How bad do you want it, brother? Because see all this whoredom, debauchery, filth, it's pig behavior. It's swine behavior. It's death unto us. And God's given us a chance. If you listen to this video right now and you haven't changed, this is your chance to change. This is your time to change. I'm talking about on the inside. And made your mind up that I can't continue this way. What do? Start your change. Start your progression. Start your migration. Start your journey back to Yah. And Yah said, when you get close enough to I see that you're genuinely trying to come to me, I'm going to come. I'm going to hug you. I'm going to kiss you. I'm going to reclothe you. I'm going to restore you. That's his promise. And he's not man where he shall lie, sister. Yah will take you back. He will. I said take you back. He will take you back. Because remember, this is our story. We were once there. We were lost. Yeshua came to guide us back to the Father. This particular brother is our example that we as a nation can still come back. That Yah hasn't totally wiped his hands with us yet. But we're running out of time real fast. Our loved ones are dying. This nation hates us as a people. I don't care what they say with their tongues. They are liars. They're flatterers with their tongues. They are liars. There's no truth in these people. They'll tell you anything to get you to believe that they don't mean us any harm. But look at their history. You know a tree by the fruit that it bears. We don't have to worry about it. We don't have to listen to what they say. All we have to do is go and look at what they have done and are still doing. But they'll tell us all this stuff because they don't want us to see them as who they really are. The devil would much rather hide, from the people of the light than to expose himself. That's why Yeshua said there were wolves in sheep's clothing. These Gentile beasts are wolves in sheep's clothing. Of course they're going to tell you what you want to hear. Oh, he's a racist. Oh, he's a bigot. He's worse than Donald Trump. Of course they're going to say all of that. Oh, he's religious. He's a Christian. I am not a Christian, you dumbass. You never met a Christian like this. And quite frankly, if y'all gave me a sword and told me to chop your damn wicked Gentile head off, I would do it. That sound Christian to you? No, I don't love my enemies. And I damn sure I'm not going to turn the other cheek. You can forget that shit, you fool. Again, show your face. Why are you hiding? Show your face. Put your picture up so all of us can see you. So if Yah, gives us the grace to meet face to face, we'll know who each other are. Surely you'll recognize me, but will I recognize you? But then again, you're a wolf in sheep clothing, so you prefer to hide. We get it. It's okay. But to the people of Elohim, we have a chance. But we're running out of time. My sister, my brother, I've given you some hard truth. Hard truth. Because Yah wanted you to hear. He wrote it. I just repeated it. I just shared it. Why do you think you're hearing this? If it was hopeless for you, you wouldn't have heard this message. And you damn sure wouldn't have sat here this long. So he's talking to you. He hasn't given up on you. But you're going to have to do something. You're acting like a pig. You're thinking like a pig. You're being a pig. When you embrace the things of this world, you use all these mechanisms of this world to show yourself, to, you know, for others to lust after and to ejaculate behind and to destroy their families to get with. When you're acting that way, that's what you are. You are a pig. When you think it's okay for two women to sleep together, you're thinking and acting like a pig. When you think it's okay for two men to sleep with each other, like a man and wife, you're acting like a pig. When you think you don't have to raise your child has a right to do whatever they want to do, you're acting like a pig. When you don't chastise your children, you're acting like a pig. When you don't take care of your families, you're acting like a pig. When you don't respect your man, you're acting like a pig. When you depend on this world for substance, you're acting like a pig. When you partake in the things of this world, you're acting like a pig. When you perform in this governmental system of this world and you go and use that system for your own benefits, you're acting and thinking like a pig. Hope that helps you to understand what a pig is. A human pig. We're not pigs. The swine is the other ones. But we're acting just like them. And if we don't change, the same consequence that they are definitely going to get, the same judgment that is already written for them, we're going to be written into that judgment right along with them. You, sister, are going to be written into the same judgment that these filthy beasts are going to get. And the same thing, you brothers, you're going to get the same judgment. Hell has enlarged itself because of our people and it's our wickedness. We weren't supposed to be in hell. That was for the children of the fallen ones and the demons, the trillions and zillions of them. And unfortunately, now it's for your children and you. If you don't take heed, while you still have time, come to yourself, turn to Yah, get moving, so that Yah will see you and come bring you back to him and take you and store you in your rightful place as kings and queens and royalty of Israel. Love you, brothers and sisters. This is the truth. Pure. Uncompromised. I hope you can hear it. Talk to you later. Bye now.